God, he added, with a gesture of his arm. If it all happened reasonably, and not all topsy-turvy, not in our way, but in a way of its own, why, it's as if I had stolen that love. Oh, you think so too, don't deny it. You must think so. But will you believe it? Of all the horrid and stupid things I have found time to do in my life, and there are many, this is one I do not and cannot repent of. Neither at the beginning nor afterwards did I lie to myself or to her. It seemed to me that I had at last fallen in love. But then I saw that it was an involuntary falsehood, and that that was not the way to love, and I could not go on. But she did. Am I to blame that I couldn't? What was I to do? Well, it's ended now, said his friend, lighting a cigar to master his sleepiness. The fact is that you have not yet loved and do not know what love is. The man in the fur-lined coat was going to speak again and put his hands to his head, but could not express what he wanted to say. Never loved. Yes, quite true, I never have. But after all, I have within me a desire to love, and nothing could be stronger than that desire. But then again, does such love exist? There always remains something incomplete. Ah, well, what's the use of talking? I've made an awful mess of life. But anyhow, it's all over now. You're quite right, and I feel that I am beginning a new life. Which you will again make a mess of, said the man who lay on the sofa playing with his watch key. But the traveller did not listen to him. I am sad and yet glad to go, he continued. Why I am sad, I don't know. And the traveller went on talking about himself, without noticing that this did not interest the others as much as it did him. A man is never such an egotist as at moments of spiritual ecstasy. At such times, it seems to him that there is nothing on earth more splendid and interesting than himself. Dmitri Andreich, the coachman won't wait any longer, said a young serf, entering the room in a sheepskin coat, with a scarf tied around his head. The horses have been standing since 12, and it's now 4 o'clock. Dmitri Andreich looked at his serf, Vanyusha. The scarf round Vanyusha's head, his felt boots and sleepy face, seemed to be calling his master to a new life of labour, hardship, and activity. True enough. Goodbye, said he, feeling for the unfastened hook and eye on his coat. In spite of advice to mollify the coachman by another tip, he put on his cap and stood in the middle of the room. The friends kissed once, then again, and after a pause, a third time. The man in the fur-lined coat approached the table and emptied a champagne glass, then took the plain little man's hand and blushed. Ah, well, I will speak out all the same. I must and will be frank with you because I am fond of you. Of course, you love her. I always thought so. Don't you? Yes, answered his friend, smiling still more gently. And perhaps— Please, sir, I have orders to put out the candles, said the sleepy attendant, who had been listening to the last part of the conversation and wondering why gentlefolk always talk about one and the same thing. To whom shall I make out the bill? To you, sir, he added, knowing whom to address and turning to the tall man. To me, replied the tall man. How much? 26 roubles. The tall man considered for a moment, but said nothing and put the bill in his pocket. The other two continued their talk. Goodbye. You are a capital fellow, said the short, plain man with the mild eyes. Tears filled the eyes of both. They stepped into the porch. Oh, by the by, said the traveller, turning with a blush to the tall man, will you settle Chevalier's bill and write and let me know? All right.